Probably got you in the thumbnail though, didn't I? This week I'm gonna do something a little different. I'll probably show you what I do on rest days, the full rest days, instead of showing you my daily workouts, since you've already seen the first 2 weeks and you know what exercises I'm doing, and just some other things that I do during the week. Anyway, welcome to vlog week 3, and let's get to it. Alright, first up we have sled pulls. Like I said before in the first video, I do sled pulls because it's good for my knees. Basically, when you're doing sled pulls, I build up to a heavy set of 2 rounds. So here you can see there's a green in the gym that I'm in, so I go down and back, and that counts as 1 round. So I'll do 2 rounds for heavy. And then so during sledding, it's just important to make sure that you're doing it slow and controlled, and at the same time making sure that your knees are over your toes. Another problem that I've been having is shoulder problems. So one of the best ways to relieve shoulder pains or whatnot is just by hanging. So what I'll do is, in between each sled set that I do, I'll go and hang for as long as I can, and I think ultimately I'll hang around 5 minutes total. And so what happens is it helps me to decompress my back, it helps me to realign my shoulders, and just helps me to engage my back as well, so that I know that I'm locking my back in place for like chest exercises. Next, I'll also be doing things like face pulls. I think that's one of the main problems of this program so far. Yes, there are many back movements like rows and stuff, but there aren't enough rear delt exercises. So we have regular shoulder overhead press, and we have a lot of anterior shoulder, which is the front of the shoulder from bench pressing, but not much of the rear shoulder. So I'll do face pulls to counter that. And another important exercise to do for knee pain is tib raises. Basically, this works on the shin muscle. Especially for athletes, the shin muscle is there to help to decelerate so that it doesn't put as much stress on tendons on your knee. And since I strongly believe in working both sides of a muscle, so for example, if you'd work on the front, you work on the back as well. So many times people will work on the calves, but they skip tib raises, like working on the front. So I think it's important to combat that as well. So if you work on something in the back, you work on something in the front. If you work on something on the left, you work on something on the right, just to even everything out. And then to finish my rest day off, I usually do banded Nordic curls. Now these are extremely difficult. So what I'll do is I'll of course have to use a barbell with weights to hold myself down, and I'll put the band around my chest, and I'll control the eccentric on the way down, and I'll try to explode as much as I can on the way up. Now I'm only doing 5 sets of 5, but these 5 reps per set are extremely killer, and I think my face kind of shows it a little bit. First things first, I got 3 boxes to drop off at the post office. You know, Christmas season, lots of things going on, so let's go do that. And then after that, I gotta go grocery shopping, gotta get some stuff for the house, you know, making some chicken noodle soup. Might let you guys see how I do that. So let's go ahead and do that. Open, there's the post office. Hopefully it's not too busy, especially since I have 3 boxes to do.
1 hour later.
And that took forever. There was a super long line, but I guess Christmas season, so what can I say, right? But at least got that done. Time to go grocery shopping. I don't know if you can see at all, but I'm getting hit by like tiny pellets of hail. So got some crazy weather coming in Minnesota. But yeah, this will be interesting. now for my rest day number 2. I usually start out with reverse walking on the treadmill. I'll put the treadmill on an incline of like 8 and my speed around 2.5, and that's just a substitute for sledding since I'm doing this in my condo exercise room. Then next I'll do a bunch of banded stuff, like for example banded shoulder stretch like hyperextensions, and then I'll go ahead and do exercise again for my rotator cuff and also for my rear delt. So here I'm doing external rotations. Then I'll do overhead tricep extensions just to help to unlock the shoulder and strengthen my tricep in the overhead position. And next, this is where I externally rotate my arm again, but this time just to focus on working that back tightness, as you can see here, as it'll help especially for my bench movements, because that's mainly where I'm getting my shoulder pain from. And this one's a really good one, with your hands behind your back and thumbs pointing out. Twist inward, and that will give you the feeling of what it's supposed to be like when you are tensing your lats and your upper back during the bench movement. Then I'll do a few banded lateral raises, just to get more shoulder work, lateral work, instead of mainly only working the front. And this last one is really good. It's basically a cross body rear delt row. So it kind of acts like, when you're doing a reverse pec deck, but instead of having your arms stretched out, your arms are bent the whole time. And this just focuses a lot on the squeeze at the end. So now was the back, and now this is the front view of what it looks like. You should try this out if you haven't tried this before. It really gives you good tension on the rear delt and allows you to go heavier than you would for a regular reverse pec deck. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos coming up next week. Next week is the end of the first 4 weeks of my program, so I'm going to run through everything that has happened in these 4 weeks, and we'll kind of look ahead to what's going to happen in the next 4 weeks. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.